From his absolutely ripped physique in Southpaw to being extremely shredded once again in his upcoming movie Roadhouse, Jake Gyllenhaal certainly knows how to transform for his roles. I mean, he looks in unreal shape for Roadhouse. He's just dedicated to his craft and one of the few method actors left in the industry. He's proven time and time again how much he cares for his performances, and fans have been left stunned every single time he does it.
I am trying to fool 7 billion people here, including Nick Fury, who happens to be the most paranoid and most dangerous person on the planet. And if he catches on before I've killed him, then he will put a bullet in my head.
Once the images of him went viral, this time around, people have been wondering just how the hell he got so buff. And the directors revealed it in the coolest way possible too. The UFC 285 event was just kicking off, and the hardest-hitting MMA stars were facing each other off at the weigh-ins. But nobody expected what would happen next. Right in between names like John Jones and Cyril Gahn, Jake Gyllenhaal showed up. And he was fully in character as Elwood Dalton, looking meaner than ever before. He looked so shredded. Even his muscles seemed to have muscles of their own. As it turned out that they were shooting a scene for the new movie, and what better place to do it than in between actual fighters, with an actual MMA crowd in the background. I can't wait to see the actual footage from the T-Mobile Arena because it looked intense. He was all tatted up and pulled off his shirt to reveal just how buff he had gotten. His official weight was announced, and he was at a staggering 184.5 pounds. After Southpaw, I didn't think he could pull it off again. But he's just gone and outdone himself once more. He stepped off the stage and riled up the crowd even more. Even the UFC president, Dana White, was there to shake his hand. Just then, the MMA world champion, Jay Heron, came up looking like he meant business. He's playing Gyllenhaal's opponent in the movie, Jack Harris. And they wasted no time coming down at each other's throats right there and then. Things looked tense as they came face to face, and Gyllenhaal smacked him across the face. Though if you looked closely, it wasn't that hard. It was just meant to be for the cameras, and they quickly pulled away. Even though it was scripted, their acting made it seem like the hottest event in UFC history. Jake grabbed the microphone and said that he trained for 6 weeks, only to fight a loser like Harris. He dropped the mic and left the stage, leaving me literally buzzing in my seat. A lot of people had just forgotten that the movie was actually coming out, since so many big movies are announced every year. But Roadhouse should be marked on your calendars. Not only because such a big star like Gyllenhaal's in it, but also because it's actually going to be a remake of the cult film of the same name. The 1989 version had the man himself in it, Patrick Swayze. He played Jake's role in it, and played a cooler who fixes up bars that have gone out of control. At that time too, when Swayze got the role, he completely changed himself. He got ripped beyond belief and looked like a complete menace. So it makes sense that Jake's having to follow the legend and has gotten in amazing shape. But everyone's been wondering just how he did it. Since the movie's still being filmed, it wouldn't make sense for the cast to give any interviews or anything about it, but I have a pretty good idea about what his workout routine is. His fitness routines are kinda mind-blowing to even imagine. He gets into the kind of shape that actual fighters take years to hone down, all in a matter of months. His routine's quite similar to what he did for Southpaw. He probably just changed it up a bit, since he's playing an MMA fighter and not a boxer. He came on an interview and left everyone's jaws on the floor when he revealed his workout regimen. And to say it sounded harsh is an understatement. He said he trained 7 days a week, twice a day, for 5 months, without missing missing a single day in between. He also ran a lot. He started off at 5 miles a day, and soon he was running 8. Then, to learn how to move like an actual boxer, and not like an actor who's pretending to be a boxer, he did mitt work on heavy bags and speed bags for like 2 hours a day. That's almost a 6-hour routine in total. Besides that, he said he also did a ton of boxing and weight training. And the worst part was the intense training routine of skipping. He skipped for almost half an hour every day. Then he would work out by flipping a 160-kilogram tire and would beat the crap out of it with a 10-kilogram hammer. To close off his day, he would do 1,000 sit-ups, besides already doing 1,000 right after waking up. And that's how he managed to look as he did in the movie. Since he already has an insane training routine to follow, it's probably going to be a lot easier for him to nail it this time around. He already knows how to grapple and strike from his southpaw prep. All he needs is someone willing to get in the ring with him to practice, and I'd hate to think of who's unlucky enough to be chosen. So if you're thinking of following his same routine and looking like he does right now, forget about it. Unless you're a millionaire who quit their day job and had like 6 to 7 hours to spare a day just working out. But even Jake's coach said that his routine is not built for normal people. Training that hard for 7 days a week isn't going to build you any muscle. Most likely, it'll just end up putting you in a hospital bed. Jake has a whole team of physicians and instructors who ensure he gets the best care he needs, as well as the best food to build all that muscle. That's right, the diet is the most important part. He ate exactly how he looked, like a monster. He was getting a full 6 to 7 meals per day. He ate big to keep all the mass he was building, and the only way to do that is to eat something at least once every 3 hours. He had a ton of protein: chicken, eggs, fish, protein powders, you name it, and he was eating it. He also had a good amount of carbs for his breakfast that turned all his excess fat into pure muscle after he worked out. He also kept his nutrients in check and had a healthy amount of vitamins in the 20 protein shakes he was having a day. But he admitted that he couldn't have done all that without giving himself a bit of a treat at the end of the day. So he would regularly visit Chipotle. Those burrito bowls turned out to be the key to gaining weight, or maybe it was those everything tortillas. But it's all good, because he was trying to gain weight. It probably wouldn't work for any regular person who isn't burning the number of calories he was daily. Besides that, he said he really focused on as much natural food as he could. He completely stopped eating anything fried and only drank water and ate salads, lean meat, and vegetables. So if you're like me and love chowing down on some KFC, think again if you're trying to look like Gyllenhaal. And that's about it for how Jake Gyllenhaal got absolutely ripped for his new UFC movie.